Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee with Mirko, another episode where we talk with coffee professionals on an interview format and then we allow for the live Q&A. I'm brewing myself an AeroPress as we speak, and as soon as Harry Cole, our next guest, is going to be live, we're going to be joined by him and we're going to have a chat about coffee and his experiences around lots of different things, from competitions to what he's doing now, the company he's working for. So yeah, very exciting as usual. So today I believe is episode 32, and yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. So we got coffee. Hope you got yours, and yeah, it's coffee with Mirka time. Hope you're all super well. It's crazy times around the world. I hope wherever you're from, you're safe and sound. Big shout out to Nick, Bikel, Greg. Then we go Lipe, we go Ali Reza. Big shout out Ali Reza, you're always here. I see you. Alvi. And let's have a look. I'm gonna send the invite to Nick, to Harry, sorry. Harry. Yeah. So hopefully Harry join us soon and we'll be able to ask him all these questions that you guys may have or may not have. So yeah, it's gonna be another interesting episode as usual. Hey, Aiu Resto Cafe. SH96. Hope you all have a cup of coffee. Harry's here, right here. So we'll send him an invite right now.
Hey. Hey.
Hey brother, how are you?
I'm pretty well, pretty well. How are you?
Yeah, good man. Well, where are you?
In Rosary, my the company, HA Bank as well.
Okay, cool man.
Let's see. I know this way is good, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, first thing, thank you for coming on, and I'm really happy that you can share an hour with us. How's you and your family doing during this pandemic? Is everyone safe and sound? I think it's freezing. So, oh, here you are. We got you back. So I was asking, is everyone happy and everyone good? Everyone safe with your family during this pandemic?
Yeah, we pretty all right, all right. I think my baby say, "Mama," it's eight months now, so yeah. I think we have much good time with my family, so pretty good, yeah.
That's good. I'm very glad, and congratulations on your baby. That's amazing. Harry, my usual first question. Can you tell us more, how did you start your coffee career and your coffee journey?
Oh well, yeah. Well, I came to Australia 2013 and pretty much start like doing coffee when I come to here Melbourne. But before that, I used to work at like coffee roaster and coffee barista in my country, Korea.
Yeah.
So I worked at like around 4 years, and I work here since 2013 until now in the coffee industry. Well, yeah. Firstly, I want to be a like kind of cafe owner or something because like yeah, I don't know, maybe like I'm like end of 2020s, so I want to do something else. So just to want to do something new. So that's why I can start coffee as well.
Yeah.
And that's leading me to until now. Yeah.
Of course, and then you kind of started get into more competitions? And why did you choose Brewers Cup?
Oh, well, yeah, that's really good question, I think. Before that, of course, I want to join the Bros Cup because it's kind of, I learned from like my cup tasters first, and I learned from the BW, which is you interviewed already last week, and he said it's kind of duty all the barista who involved in the specialty. So I think that firstly, like giving some really big inspiration.
Mm.
So yeah, that's
So
why
thanks
I'm
to,
joining.
yeah.
But before World Cup, I challenged some cup tasters first. So I
Okay.
think that, yeah, luckily that has really good result. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and
how important was to win the 2015 National Cup tasting? How important was that for you in your career?
yeah, I think main thing has changed after I win the competition because of course it was first time, but it's really luckily it has a really good result at the first. So after that, like many things was changed because I don't think I have that much skill, but already got a like kind of the like champion title. So I really had to had to try to make myself to be a like champion level.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave a really big motivation as well.
Of course.
Mm.
Of
Yep.
course. No,
And
that's cool, man. And when you were training for your competition in 2015, how often and how long did you train for?
mm, I prepared 3 months, yes, and like almost every day, 4 hours I did after work. Yeah,
Wow. 4 hours
mm.
every single day. That must have been a lot of fun, a lot of hard work.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I taste a lot of coffee, so couldn't sleep at the time at the first, and like lose my weight like 8 kilos. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we actually one of the people who just joined the show. Very young barista, very talented, and she wants to compete when she turns 18. What advice would you give to a super young barista? To prepare towards competition. What would be your advice?
Ooh, advice for them. Like I don't know. It's probably doesn't matter how old they are. The point is like kind of like really need to really working hard,
Hmm.
and also like research a lot. And thirdly, like try as much as they can. Like that I can advise for them. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sure she'll appreciate. And so you came to Australia in 2013. Could you share with us a little bit about your career and what cafes had the most significant experience for you?
That yeah. All right. 2013, I came to Australia in May, so which is that time had the big big months.
WBC. Yeah.
Yeah, WBC as well. So I was really lucky because I watching like all the competitors routine fully, and sometimes I had a chance to talk with them, and that also really gave big inspiration also.
Hmm.
And and that time many cafe had a really special like coffees for the competitors and the world visitors. I think that pretty lucky because I really like experienced a really high cup quality in
Hmm.
the start, and I worked at in the first, because my English skill is not good and I'm not guaranteed the barista, so it's very hard to get a job in first in the Melbourne. But luckily, I get a like worked at Coffee Exchange,
Okay.
which is Scotland in city in the Spring. No,
I know where it is. I know where it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Parliament Station, and the owner used the like kind of like 5 specialty roaster in Melbourne, and on all in selection. So I really had a good chance to learn more about the Melbourne specialty coffee.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was really good, like experience in first.
Of course. And then which other cafes would you say there were very important chapters in your life? If you had to pinpoint a couple of other cafes that you worked for. So
Yeah, and after that, like I worked at Queensberry Plus and also working at Duke's Coffee as well.
okay.
So like to cafe, it has all like different style and also like different working flow as well.
Yeah.
And it was quite encouraged me to join the competition.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that really good chance to like to improve by myself.
Of course. And so these were some cafes you worked, and for people who are following us, Queensberry Poorhouse is from Tin Man Coffee Roasters. So Ben was on the show a few weeks ago. And in terms of people, who was a strong and positive influence for you? You already mentioned BW, which we interviewed a few days ago. Was there anyone else that really was a good push for you?
Well, there are a few, of course. To be honest, like for the competition, I watched, like the Chad Wang's, which is 2018, 17, the world champion.
Mm.
To be honest, I watched the performance in the competition, the final, at least 100 times. I watched. Seriously, yeah, that was really, really big inspiration for me. And also that guy from Sydney called Chan Hong.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's amazing also. And then he's quite like really, really like motivated guy to me. So I think that also he's really leading me to improve hips.
Mm-hmm.
And also, of course, I read a lot of articles from Matt Perger.
Matt Berger, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
That's
That was James Hoffman also as well, yeah.
Sorry, and who else?
And James Hoffman.
James Hoffman, yeah. I think we all watch James. I really tried to get him on the show, but we'll see what happens. So, what's your favorite part of being a barista? Is a filter or espresso? In terms of making coffee, what do you prefer?
I would say I'm more like filter.
Yeah, and would you like to share with us and the audience and the people going to watch this? What's your method in terms of technique? What's your ratio, and how do you do your V60 or Chemex?
I'm more using the called the December dripper, which is can control. Looks like Kalita wave, but it's more give control the immersion time as well.
Yeah.
So my purpose is like bring all the positive flavor from the coffee. So the control immersion is bring the like kind of raw molecular compounds. For example, like acidity and some like saccharides. It's giving like kind of really good sweet and some of acidity point, and also gives them a lot of flavors. So that is the good profit from the immersion, and also like change the percolation is making, like bring the really good body and like sweetness. So I give a lot of, how can I say this? Like I give like 1 minute immersion time and then change the population. So the same thing as like 1:16 like ratio. For example, 15 grams coffee, around 250 gram water. I use it within like 2 minutes 40 seconds. But like changing to like like kind of like give it full immersion in the first, and then change the circulation later.
Okay, that's cool, man. Okay, and as far as competition go, what's your current goal? What's your next goal? You still want to, compete, or you want to change maybe a category? What's your goal?
I'm still, trying at the Bros Cup. So because I didn't win at the time, so of course I want to, like be a champion first in the Bros Cup, and that after this probably want to support more competitors, and also want to support more farmers as well if I can. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's cool, man. And so this is a question. What are you drinking?
No. Yeah, actually, it's Baroque actually. So.
What is it? I just tea.
Yeah, no, it's Baroque.
Babaca. That's okay, man. It's because every time that it's... Sorry?
What are you drinking?
Well, now I'm just drinking a filter, a Burundi from Paradox Roasters. Yeah, my friends at Paradox, they are roaster from Sydney and Queensland. Not sure if you know them. Yeah, very, very interesting. The head roaster is Paul Goldie. He used to be Toby's Estate coffee roaster. So very interesting. Oh, nice. Yeah. Because I used to work for Toby's Estate, so having their old roaster now roasting for this roaster, it's interesting. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm drinking coffee.
Maybe I should bring the coffee as well.
No, it's all good. So your goal is going to be helping more people get into competition. I think it's special. I think it's really good. I always say during the streams and the shows that it's very easy these days to contact people. We are only one click away. It's like with you. I just clicked message Harry and I say, hey, would you like to come on the live stream? So I think it's really important this day and age to help each other with the community, because there's a lot of people who want to learn, but they might be a little bit shy or insecure to reach out and say, hey, Harry, hey, Devin, hey, Sasha, I need some help. Or do you know anyone in the area or something like that? So I think what you're doing, I think it's going to be good and help a lot of young people, definitely. So at the moment, a lot of people know where you work. You can say it. What's your current role? What are you currently doing for work?
Yeah. I'm still working at Duke's, but like now it's the pandemic situation, so we stand down still. So I'm like now working as a barista. So other time I'm working also called H.A. Bennett's, and that is the green bean sourcing company. So I'm working there as a like sample roaster and also like the quality assistant.
Okay. And at Jukes, what do you do at Jukes? Do you work just at the cafe? Do you work in the roastery? Do you do quality control? What do you do at Jukes?
At the Jukes, I'm just doing as a barista. So just making coffee and watch the people all the time. That's it. Yeah.
So we can find you on Flinders Lane shop when you work. That's where you are. Sweet, cool, man.
Yeah, we are opening soon, but I don't know when. But yeah, sooner we can see in the
I
cafe.
think
Yeah.
from the 1st of June you'll be able to open, I think. Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, and I think look, I think Jukes is one of those coffee shops that are quite iconic in Melbourne. We all have been to Jukes, and it's definitely one of those top cafes in Melbourne where people go to. So I think you guys are doing a fantastic job where you are, and it's a matter of keep doing what you love. And I'm glad that you work there. I actually know someone that works there. We met a few times, so yeah, I can't wait till you open so I come and visit you.
Please come again.
I
Probably,
will come and visit you so we can meet in person. So you're a barista, you do quality control, you brew, you do a lot of things around coffee. What would you say it's your biggest passion?
in coffee. So
Yes.
I would still say as a barista thing is my favorite job in the coffee industry because like it's kind of very last thing to connect seed to cup. So always want to be standing the last and then see the customers. That's my really really big pleasure. So and like making the farmers is doing their great job, and and roasters is making the like great coffee to the more developed, and also barista is having the last duty. So they probably like if I can, I would still want to do like as long as I can do.
Of course. And would you say that, do you like training people? Because you mentioned that you like to help people in competitions. Do you like training, and do you like helping out people with that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have a little like less experience to train the baristas, but like that is quite make me happy. Kind of some barista or some people who want to be a barista, watching them to like developed by my hand. That's quite really really good to see, and also I'm like having some plans, but also like developing together for the roast cup as well. So and cup tasters too. So watching them to like improving their skills is quite quite good to see. It's very yeah.
It's satisfying, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's good. And now that you're also a father, I think it's almost like, that barista becomes your, like your baby, you nurture them, you teach them from, the basics to, how to turn on a grinder, where is the milk,
Yeah.
all the very, very basics, and then you start developing and you see them growing. And I think it's really cool. When I ask you what's your biggest passion, I really liked your answer. I think that yes, the barista is, like Bianca says, the last hero. It's the person that has to really deliver. It's the last piece of the chain. But if you had to create your own role, like if you, in an imaginary world, if you had to create your own specific role around coffee, and what would you like that to be? What would you like that to look like? It could be, for instance, you have Scott Rao, who is a roaster, but also is a writer. You have Tim Wendelbo, who is mostly a roaster, but also lots of trips in the farms. You got Sasha, you got, which role belongs to you? How much would you like to do farm with people, barista job, competition, training? What does that look like?
Oh, that's really, really, that's really philosophical. Uh, to be honest, I would like to be like, I can't really, really answer. So,
Okay.
wanna be like kind of one of immortal in the coffee industry because like be to, but I didn't really think about it. But maybe if I in the future, what I'm doing maybe next, probably wanna, like more travel the world also as well, and then gonna go to the farm to find the like the good coffee from the kind of unknown farm as well. And also, like preparing the competition, I've learned a lot of things from the actual inside. What is the like fermentation, processing? I want to like study more about this. So my goal is still, like in the process, but in the future,
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, for example, I used to work with surely you know her. I used to work with Charlotte. You know Charlotte Malabal, the French barista. She works at WSSTA. So her role, for example, it's still she's the green bean buyer. So she goes to farm and select green beans for Toby's, and then she also is responsible in terms of generating a program, coffee, quality, assessing and drinking. And I'm sure she also helps with, competition. So that could be something that you might be interested in. That's cool, man. Harry, we kind of reached the halfway mark, and usually a halfway mark I ask an out of the box question. So this is going to be a tricky question. And if you haven't followed the show well, then if people who've been following the show, they know what question is coming up. If you could, who would you like to have dinner with?
Sorry?
If you could choose anyone in the world,
Anyone?
who would you like to have dinner with?
Dinner with.
Doesn't have to be coffee, whoever you want.
One on, probably with I'll probably say like some like chef like Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I think sometimes it's good to break it up, to have a little question like that, a little insight. Okay, so currently at Jukes, you're doing a barista Flinders Lane. Are you planning to, get involved more in different roles within the company? Is that your goal, to kind of get involved more with other jobs within Jukes?
That I don't know, because like I'm working at Dukes as a part-time barista, and also I do another role in the H.A. Bennett in the like kind of sourcing green bean. So I said I want to be still one of your barista, but now in this stage I want to more like study at green beans. So my the current interest is working at the green bean, and then sourcing the green, and then taste all the green coffees as well. So in future, no. Right?
That's okay. That's cool. And also you worked with a good friend of mine, Ben. What's one of your favorite memories from that time when you were working at Queensbury Poorhouse? Because I'm sure Ben is going to rewatch this.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. He's from Sydney and I'm from Korea. It's different part, but still we are meeting in the Melbourne. So I don't know. He's the boss, mom. I'm the just barista, but we already over that relationship. I'll definitely say he's my one of the biggest fans in Melbourne, and in my current career, whole entire the coffee life. So actually we shared all the good copies, and also, like he helped me a lot of things for my competition. We sometimes roast it together and then make the really big, like, the great copy, like roasting profile. So once I joined the roast cup in Perth, actually I got a high score in there, and then I got really great coffee. But actually Ben roasted that coffee for me, and yeah, and we, like there's kind of like really good synergy from the barista and the roaster. I think that's amazing, part of my memory with him. And during the working time, like to be honest, we smashed like really, really like big customers, and sometimes we, like people really love our coffee, and that like always gives a really good memory. I mean, like really good like pleasure from that time. So
Of course, and I think Ben is such a good guy too. He's very warm. Like a big heart, and
yeah,
I think working with someone like him it's also pleasant on a human level, not just professional. But he also is an amazing roaster. I actually got some of his coffee in my cabinet, Tanzania filter, and. But what I love is also when you walk in QPH, it's just such a family vibe. It's like it feels like you're part of a family. It's cozy, and it's such a lovely place, in my opinion, in Melbourne. What did you think when you started first making the Black Magic? And for people who don't know, at QPH. They run a Black Magic, and basically the show version is it's a filter coffee extracted at a 4 bar pressure, or 2 bar, 4 bar from the machine. 2.
3 bar. I think Ben, if you have answer, please.
Yeah. So basically, they brew filter coffee through the espresso machine. Well, here it is. Talking about the man.
Hi Ben. Yeah. Actually, I already left when Ben made the magic, so Black Magic. So
oh, you already left.
Yeah, the real recipe probably Ben knows more than me.
All right. Ben, yeah. You're gonna watch again. You're gonna watch again the last 10 minutes because we were just talking about you. Okay. Thanks for that. I think, yeah, like we said, I think it was a good. It must have been such a humbling experience working there, and I'm glad that we now made the connection, the three of us. So, what would you say, Harry? What's your mission in coffee? What's your ultimate goal and mission?
Oh, yeah. Well, I said that. Still, like I'm still working on doing the business as well. So, like, so my personal like as a barista and example as a sample roaster and as a like brewer. So when I find it's kind of like connect more like people, because I'm I'm kind of like finding and tasting a lot of like 90+ level of coffee, and like I always think it's kind of a little less chance to introduce the like public competitors, public customers. So like I want to be a more connection with connect with the customer, and like kind of that kind of level of copies, and then introduce more like certain levels copy paste to them. So that probably I say my mission.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that really resonate well with a lot of people who are gonna watch this in the future. I've recently interviewed Joseph Brodsky from 90 Plus Coffee.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, you know, we were talking a lot about this. I think, you know, I think the more people start drinking this sort of coffee, the more accessible they are, the more people will start appreciating coffee, and the more people will be happy to pay more for coffee, and hopefully a price increase will help the industry from farm to roaster, from roaster to cafe, from cafe to consumer. There's no reason why we shouldn't pay more for coffee, especially the high quality and the high grade that you're talking about. Now, you just mentioned you have a 8 months old baby. How do you manage your, you know, because you got 2 jobs, a baby, a wife.
Yeah.
How do you manage life and work balance?
Ooh, that, I think my wife, April, to be honest, she sacrificed a lot for me, like in my family, and it's all, you know, Mama is doing like more time with the baby, and I'm more working outside, and then I've tried to be a good father, but I don't think I'm a good father as well. So
of course you are, yeah.
Oh yeah, but well, I'm trying. I'm really trying, but yeah. Well, that's it. Probably more daytime working outside, and then dinner time try to be at home, and you know, like now, you know, like because before the practice a lot of time for the competition, I couldn't go like much at home, and because I, you know, like almost practice overnight. So yeah, always I see my babies in a sleep. So, but now I can see more.
That's
growing.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
And I think going back on what you just said, training and competition, we already interviewed here BW and Caleb.
Oh yeah.
So how do you feel because what I was saying to them is that thanks to you, you know, thanks to people like you, Caleb, BW, Umpo, you know, all these amazing South Korean baristas, you guys have really pushed the trend, really pushed the passion for coffee, and now there's more and more, you know, South Korea really looking at coffee as a career. Do you feel a little bit of pressure, or are you proud of the fact that you guys started the movement of coffee in South Korea, really?
Oh, it's kind of a bit like both, because I'm really proud of it. Also get a lot of pressures because it's kind of like when I win the competition, people, and you know, like to guys, why I could win, I practiced really a lot. Yeah, there's one of the reason. But now I see the many competitors at the moment, especially some from Korea. They, you know, like it's kind of lucky because we can easy to come to Australia, and you know, Melbourne is already like kind of big coffee city, so many people are having like kind of big, you know, like kind of ambitious to join the competition, and they are doing really well. You know, like, so, you know, it gives me, because I'm still the challenger, so it gives you a lot of big, you know, pressure, and they are, you know, like doing well, and then sometimes, you know, like not just only me, I mean, like, so there are some few more like Korean winners in Australia. They're giving really, really big prizes as well.
Of course. It's also, I think, do you get many people from South Korea messaging you and reaching out to you and ask you advice?
Yeah, in cup tasters, easily many people are asking, and Brewers Cup, you know, like already have 2 or 3 competitors. So we are all connecting together. So Brad is probably next winner, and then Dominic, who is staying here, but he also joining in competition in Korea, and so and also another the many guys. We are quite working all
And we
together.
got my good friend Charlie too. I think he has a
Yes,
good shot.
yeah. I know I don't know how long. He probably longer than me, and then practice more than me, to be honest. So that is one reason he could win, and he also has really good talent.
Yeah, and he
So
plays basketball, so I think he's competitive because of basketball. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, I've known Charlie for a long time, and yeah, he's another amazing barista for sure. So, you know, for people watching, how important is to surround yourself with the right mentors?
Sorry.
How important is to have around you the right mentors?
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, it's kind of like right mentor is reading kind of right way how important it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, is that important? Because I think a lot of people watching, you know, they need to understand that, you know, you give your opinion, but in my opinion is very important to have one or two people who you can reach out to, you know, say that my mentor is, you know, yourself and BW, then anytime that I have a doubt, every time I feel down, every time I don't feel right, every time I feel a little bit defeated or deflated, I can message you or I can message BW and say, hey man, I think I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna do the competition. But then you have, you know, you and your BW say, no, what are you talking about? It's okay. When I was training, I felt the same. Like, how important is to have the right people around you? Because, for example, I'll give you more context. For example, if you're looking at Honor Coffee, there's a strong base of mentors, you know, where they can go to each other and help each other. How important is that, do you think?
Oh yeah, that is of course important because, well, I had big BW, to be honest. He, you know, like he told me everything what he had in the cup tasters. So, you know, that, you know, like just really big deal for me. And also, you know, like it's kind of thing, you know, I also had some experience because I gave like something wrong advice about coffee, like, or having some like bad, like wrong information. You know, like, the time, you know, it's very hard to fix it. So always, you know, like trying to be, you know, like good, giving some like good information also, and also that time is, how can I say, people. I'm sorry, just need time.
Please.
So, you know, like sometimes you know, like I'm not always, you know, like competent as well. You know, like good thing was, you know, a really good thing was they're in the final round, people final round in the tasters, because I know people are really strong. For example, like Frankie Shi, Francini, he's like, you know, like super talented, and then I know he was like faster than me, and then like more correct, and so, you know, I had zero confidence because I think I had no chance to beat him. So BW just came down to the practice room and he said, just do your thing, and, you know, like it's more important you are challenging, and it's not a winning or not. You are doing well. Like, just, you know, like talking about yourself. If I doing wrong, probably I will give more regret after this. So he said, don't be regret, like don't leave any regret in the stage. So I think that was a really big advice to me.
Beautiful.
So yeah, you know, like that was a really big deal. Seriously, yeah. So
of course, because I mean, if you didn't have that figure next to you, you would have walked into stage with a different mindset, a little bit more nervous. and that worked out well. So no, thank you for sharing that. I think anything in life you need support and surround yourself with the right people, without having too much expectations. A lot of times, as long as you're humble, as long as you are grateful, and as long as you give these people back, I think it's important. We don't have to be greedy in looking for mentors, but I think looking for a mentor who's willing to help, and then we can give that person or that people back with our results, with our love, with our support back. I think it's extremely important. So, BW was a big figure, and that's amazing. I'm sure that BW had his own mentor, which is great. Harry, the last questions. What would you like to see in the future of coffee?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably say because in the lucky because HA Bennett, I can taste some really high grade coffee and also some commercial grade coffee as well. So over and year, I can see how the commercial coffee is developed, and also it's kind of their great farmers is developing great fermentation, and they are studying more and more, and taste getting better and better, and new fermentation and new variety and some unknown variety to bring out the box so we can taste it. So they are already strive to making new or better taste, and that is giving to the big inspiration to the commercial range of coffees. So I would say all the coffees are tasting better and better, and that probably giving really big profit to the specialty or commercial market as well. That's my point of view. Yeah.
Cool. Roger Zapata agrees with you. Bianca, do you have any questions, Bianca? You never ask questions. I'm putting her on the spot. Before we finish everything, because I always want to allow some minutes, because otherwise the time cuts off as soon as it's 60 minutes. But we still have some time. What's next on on Harry's planet in terms of what's next for you? What's your next goals? What's your next stages? Where are you going next, Harry, in the next 12 to 24 months?
Well, I'll probably study more about the fermentation, because I think this is kind of new and trend also, but I think we need to still develop a lot from this, because only now we're talking about the the demucilized composition taste, making taste better coffee, but searched a lot of fermentation, for example cacao beans, cacao beans actually fermenting inside the bean to bring out more amino acid, and so it's making a lot of taste differences. So probably I study more with that part in the first. So that probably I can bring out for my competition. Cool. And no one knows who is winning the competition, so that is not my goal. I mean it's my goal, but it's not my planned future. So probably after this, I taste more coffee and find helping more people to join the competition.
Cool. And Roger Zapata is asking, which fermentation process is your favorite?
Ooh. Which fermentation process? I personally love it. Personally love it anaerobic natural, because it's having, I don't know, I personally like natural coffees, and also anaerobic giving some more further different taste profile from that fermentation. So that I love it. and and that's it, I think.
Yeah, all right, that's cool. And yeah, I think I was very lucky too to drink a lot of good coffee within my career. Your phone battery died. Do you have any questions, Bianca? You never ask questions. You should ask a question to Harry. Yeah, I was lucky to taste a lot of great coffee. And Roger says natural anaerobic and carbonic maceration is mine. Yeah, we all like CM, so for sure. Sasha likes that too.
Yeah, that was really great. Yeah, I mean, I taste Sam's coffee when he's joined the competition. That was really, really next level, to be honest. It's amazingly good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. Oh, we got two. We got two coffee. We got two questions. Ben is asking, can you tell us about activated embryos experiment?
Oh yeah. Actually, I was thinking about this. Yeah. So activated embryos. So embryos means, like the coffee bean is kind of seed of plant. So it has embryo, of course, for the, so seeding. But in some fermentation and some process, especially we are thinking that embryo actually defective coffee as a partial sour like defect. And had some one time I had a really great experience with the five senses, and they are gathering people and introduce what is the defect coffee as well. So we tasted some of the phenolic and potatoes and some partial sours, something like this. But fennel and potato is quite obviously taste bad, but only the sour bean defect is sometimes we taste more tropical fruits and kind of winey the flavor of taste from this. So I think that was very hard to say this is defect, because some great coffee has a really good winey and also tropical fruit taste. So some it's not it would be not same, but tastes similar. So I just wondered why it tasted good for me and researched it, and some coffee has some kind of dead embryos is developing more flavors, which means the bean has some, you can see some sign like a little bit deep dimple in the coffee bean. That probably a sign of this is embryo dead.
Okay.
So yeah, and this is also signage for the old enzyme. When the fermentation or enzyme go into the bean and fermenting inside the bean to developing more amino acid and also making low level sugar chain.
I get you.
And when we roasting it, so so roasting is kind of like breaking down all the sugar and all the ingredient from the coffee bean from the heat transpiration. So already they're having low level of sugar, and the amino acid is breaking down from the protein, so it can be developed faster than usual coffee bean. And then I'm sure it's making more different flavors from the part. Yeah.
Wow, sounds like a lot of science. That's amazing. Yeah. And Roger said he loves your experimentation. So I think just keep pushing with experimenting, because then you might be able to find a breakthrough. I'm very cautious about time. We got two more questions. One is from Bianca. She's asking, Harry, why coffee? And I add something to it. I think what she's referring to is that we met Lewin we had a great interview, and basically we really talk about finding your purpose amongst the industry, you know, why you choose to work in coffee. And the second question is from Cafe O'Neilly, asking, what's your opinion about Mexican coffee? But first, tell us your why, and then we'll talk about Mexican coffee.
Right, cool, yeah. So, it's a bit embarrassing because actually I was wanna be a magician. I can't believe it, right? So,
Magician? You are a magician?
yeah. No,
Cool.
actually, not a professional, it's amateur magician, but wanna be like magician. And then I knew about I can't be a like professional, so I wanna do something with the magic. So actually, in the first, I want to work at wine or coffee because I wanna be a like wine bar or open the wine bar or cafe. And I applied the two jobs in the coffee shop, wine bar and coffee shop. And actually, the cafe actually contacted me first. So that is first I would join at coffee as well.
Got you. And what do you think about Mexican coffee? Have you had much Mexican coffee lately?
Oh, actually, HFN has a really great like, Mexican. Sometimes we give like really high score, and from Narita, I can't really say about the pronunciation, but Narita, that's always giving like really big pressure to me. I think, I don't know, without this, I didn't have that much Mexican coffees, but that, giving me always great, like, the feeling from this. So.
Yeah, I think we're gonna read more. I think we're gonna drink more Mexican coffee in the future. I think it's one of those countries that's on the rise. When I left Toby's, we were really playing around with a few origins from Mexico. Very interesting. I think, yeah, there's going to be definitely more Mexican coffee in the future, hopefully. Roger Zapata is saying, well, you take a seed, take care of it, harvest it, process it, roast it, brew it, and drink it. That's magic. There you go. There you go. Roger closed it perfectly. Harry, we are slowly but surely approaching the 60 minutes mark, and Instagram gives a 30 seconds countdown out of nowhere. So before Instagram closes, I want to say, really, thank you very much for coming in today. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your experiences. Lots of people will find value in this when they're going to rewatch it on YouTube or on our podcast. So thank you. I really hope to meet you in person at Jukes when it reopens, or we can all catch up at Ben's, Queensberry Pool House. Is there anything else that you want to say before we end this?
No, it's kind of big honor because I'm not a like big coffee people in the.
Of course you are.
Industry. No, I mean I wanna be, but not. I don't think not yet. So.
Of course you are. You're already a champion. And look, like I always say, man, everyone has a story. Roger has a story. Bianca has a story. Ben has a story. We all have a story. And your story is beautiful. You came to a country where you didn't know more than 10 words of English, all the way to meet different people in the industry and win a competition in Australia. I mean, I think that a lot of people get inspired by you. So numbers don't count. Don't worry. You're one of the big guys in coffee. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
100%. All right. Thank you very much, brother. We'll talk soon, and hopefully we'll meet at Queensberry Pool House or Jukes. Okay. Take care.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thanks for having me, and then thanks for the guys watching us.
My pleasure. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys. It's a morning show. Unfortunately, it's I think 45 or 60 seconds left. Oh, 30 now. There you go. Bianca, thank you for popping in. Stay safe, everyone. Wee Boy, Ben, Roger, thank you for the questions. If you enjoyed it, feel free to take a screenshot and share it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel. We also have
podcast. And stay all safe, stay super well. I hope to see you back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Melbourne time. Take it easy.